Hey guys! Alright, so welcome to the bedmas video, the better bedmas video. Hopefully this one works. So we can call it bedmas, we can call it order of operations. And it's super fun. Okay, so it's order of operations, but I like to put in bedmas so we know what that order is. So B stands for brackets. So on your calculator it would look like that. Exponents are powers. So we just finished doing that, such as 3 to the power of 2. So anytime you see that, you'll know that that is the E. D is division. M, multiplication. A, addition. And S, subtraction. So basically when you see a long equation, the way we solve it is to do it in order of bedmas, and we do it in order of how we see it. Now when we have division and multiplication and addition and subtraction, again, we do it in order of how it appears in the question from left to right. And here is an example. Okay, so a possible question could be 3 times 5 plus 10 to the power of 3 times 3. So what we do is we see, okay, is there a B? Are there brackets in this question? No. So we can just go to the next one, which is E. Are there exponents? Yes, there are, right here. So what we would do is we would continue, so rewrite the next line as we see it, 3 times 5. But when we get to the 10 to the power of 3, we just solve it. So 10 to the power of 3, again, is like repeated addition. 10 times 10 times 10. We can do this in our heads, but we can use a calculator if that's more comfortable for you. So you could do 10 times 10 is 100, then times 10 is 1,000. So then we would just put in that answer right there, and then continue the rest of the equation there. Then we go to the next line. So we've done exponents. Is there division? No, there's not. Is there M, multiplication? Yes, there is. There's the 3 times 5, and then there is the times 3. So we could do both of those in the same line, or we could do them in 2 separate lines, whatever you're comfortable with. So the first thing I would do is the 3 times 5, which is 15. Then you continue the question, plus 1,000 times 3. And then we go to the next line, 15 plus, and now we're going to do the multiplication. So now we're going to do the 1,000 times 3, and that, of course, is 3,000. And then the next thing, the only choice that we have is the addition part of it. So now we're going to do 15 plus 3,000. And that is 3,015. And that's your final answer. All right, let's do another example. All right, so let's do this question here. 10 plus, and then in the bracket we have a couple of things happening. We have 3 to the power of 2 minus 1, and then divided by 2 minus 4. So again, we look and we say, is there a B? There are brackets. So we have to do whatever in the brackets first. And then within the bracket, we still have to follow bedmas. So in the bracket, we have an exponent, and we also have a minus 1. Now we know with bedmas, B, E, D, the E comes first, so we do the exponent first within the bracket. So then I would write the next line like this, 10 plus, I would keep the bracket there, and I would do that power, that exponent. 3 to the power of 2 is 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9, and then times 3 is 27. So now I have 27 minus 1 in the bracket, divided by 2 minus 4. Then I do the next line, 10 plus, and I have to finish what's in that bracket. It's 27 minus 1, which is 26. And because I'm only left with one number now, I don't need the brackets anymore. The brackets are only for if you have more than one thing happening within the bracket, like something to do with division or multiplication or exponents or what have you. So now that we're only left with one number, we don't need the bracket. Continue the rest of the line. All right, so now we look and, sorry, there's lots of announcements running while I'm doing this video. Now, is there any exponents happening outside of the brackets? Because that would be the next thing. There could be exponents that we have to deal with that are outside of the bracket. There aren't in this case, so we can go right to D. We can attack the division. So the division that we would do is 26 divided by 2. So the next line would be 10 plus, and 26 divided by 2, so cutting 26 in half is 13 minus 4. And then we look, is there any multiplication? No. And then it's addition, subtraction. And I'm going to do the addition and subtraction in order of how I see it, which is 10 plus 13 minus 4. So 10 plus 13, and I'll just do it step by step. So 10 plus 13 is 23 minus 4, and then the next line, 23 minus 4 is 19. So my final answer, ta-da, is 19. Okay, going to do another example for you to show you how exponents can be in the bracket, but then also outside of the bracket and how we deal with it. So first thing again, I always like to write out bedmass on my sheet just so we remember. So are there brackets? Yes, there are. So let's deal with what we have in the bracket first. And within the bracket, again, following bedmass. So the next thing that we have to look for is, are there exponents in the bracket? There are. There's 5 to the power of 2. So I would write my next line like this, 3 plus, and then do 5 to the power of 2, which is 5 times 5, which is 25. Close my bracket. Don't forget that little 2, which is my exponent outside of the bracket, multiplied by 3. Now I have to finish what's in the bracket, which is 3 plus 25, which is 28. And actually, I don't need the bracket anymore because I'm just left with one number, 28. And this means that you use that power on whatever is left in the bracket. So because we figured out that 3 plus 25 is 28, this exponent here gets attached to the 28 there. And it's that times 3. So 28 to the power of 2 is 28 times 28, which is 784, and that's times 3. And then we do that last step, 784 times 3, which is 2,352. So what I would do when you're doing bedmass is to really take it step by step and also check over your work. I know that's going to be a pain for you guys. I know you just want to try to get it done, but look over your work, and also you can check the back of the textbook to see if you got the right answer, because that's a great example of how the textbook answers at the back really help you, because you can see if you don't have the right answer at the back, you know you've done something wrong, and then it's up to you to kind of go back and kind of figure out where. I'm going to do one more example for you, and you're not going to see very many questions like this, but you're going to get maybe one challenge question where you're going to see a square root in bedmass, or sorry, like the squaring sign. So what if you had this? Well, sometimes that squaring sign acts as a bracket. So when you see bedmass, that B can also be this. Okay? So what that means is you do everything underneath it first, and then you find the square root of that final answer. So I'll go over it with you. So the next line would be E, are there any exponents? There are. So then I would go 7 plus 2 times 3 to the power of 2, which is 3 times 3, which is 9. Okay, then we look for D. Is there division? No, there isn't. Is there an M for multiplication? Yes, there is. It's 2 times 9. So again, you write the square sign. 7 plus 2 times 9, 18. And then the next line is 7 plus 18. Which is 25. And now, since you're just left with this, Now you find the square root of 25, because whenever you see that squaring sign and another number underneath, like we discussed in class today, that means that you're finding the square root of. So then on your calculator, you would find the square root and you would figure out that that was 5. So the question that I would like you to answer to make sure that you understand this video is the one that you see before you. 4 plus 3 times 6 times, and then in the bracket, 4 plus 3 to the power of 3, close bracket, and then you have to the power of 2 there. Okay? And to help you, I'm going to give you the answer. It's 17,302. Okay? So obviously, you're not going to just put that answer down and submit it to me. You're going to work through this question, but if you don't get this answer, then you know you went wrong somewhere, and then you have to kind of just start at the beginning and work your way down from there. So at least you know what you should get, so that should probably help you there. I know that bedmas is a lot. Watch this video again. And again and again and again if you need to. And of course, reach out to me if you are on the Instagram page, and if I can help you with anything, absolutely. But try to watch the video a few times and see if you can work through it that way first. And then, of course, I'm here if you need me. So anyways, hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you Monday.